Namaskar. Welcome to our special show, Cinema Centurion Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray, Bengali motion picture director, writer and illustrator who brought the Indian cinema to world recognition with Pather Panchali and its two sequels known as Apu Trilogy. As a director, Ray was noted for his humanism, his versatility and his detailed control over his films and their music. He was one of the greatest filmmakers of the 20th century. Ray, whose interests had been exclusively urban and Western oriented, was exposed to Indian and other Eastern art and gained a deeper appreciation of both Eastern and Western culture, a harmonious combination that is evident in his films.
Satyajit Ray is perhaps the most well-known Indian filmmaker to the Western world and arguably among the dozen or so great masters of world cinema. He made his films in Bengali, and yet his films are of universal interest. Ray was born on 2nd May 1921 in Calcutta in a distinguished Bengali family. After graduating from Calcutta's Presidency College, Ray went to Shantiniketan, the open-air university founded by Rabindranath Tagore. There, Ray read widely, observed nature, and became interested in graphic design while studying fine art. Ray returned to Calcutta in 1943 and worked with a British-owned advertising agency, DJ Khema, as a visualizer. In 1949, he met the great French director Jean Renoir, who visited Calcutta to scout locations for the 1950 film The River. Renoir encouraged Ray to make films. When Khema sent him to work in their head office in London, Ray took the opportunity to see as many films as he could, and it was Vittorio De Sica's Bicycle Thieves that inspired him to start work on Pather Panchali. Pather Panchali was 3 years in the making, years of unceasing financial struggle. It was ultimately completed with the help of West Bengal government. The film, the first in Apu Trilogy, views life in a village in Bengal through the eyes of two young children. The two following films, Aparajito 1956 and Apur Sanshar 1951, completing the Apu Trilogy, following Apu into adulthood and marriage while having their many memorable moments, and in spite of much tighter construction and more polished filmmaking, lacked the simplicity and poetic quality of Pather Panchali. Though a prolific period of interesting and yes, even great filmmaking followed for Satyajit Ray, Devi in 1960, Teen Kanya 1961, Abhijan 1962, Kanchanjunga 1962, his first film in color, Mahanagar 1963, perhaps his next most perfectly crafted film was Charulata in 1964. Ray worked in no fixed genre unlike many of his contemporaries and made a wide variety of films, a song and dance children's fantasy film, Gopi Gayan Bagha Bayan 1969, a modern urban trilogy with the common thematic thread of corruption uniting the three films, detective crime fiction, a historical, Shatranj Ke Khiladi in 1977, also his first film in Hindi.
रोगने बादाम की मालिश काफी देर तक हुई है।
तुम हमसे इस तरह से बात नहीं कर सकते हो। क्यों नहीं कह सकते? और तुम्हें क्या अपने आप को नवाबजादा कहलाते हो?
एक ऐसा आदमी जिसे आप एक मुकम्मल डायरेक्टर, एक मुकम्मल फिल्म मेकर आप कह सकते हैं। मैं उन खुशनसीबों में से हूँ जिन्होंने सत्यजीत रे को, जिन्हें हम प्यार से मानिकदा कहा करते थे, बहुत करीब से देखा। मैं उनकी पहली और आखिरी हिंदी फिल्म शतरंज के खिलाड़ी का डायलॉग राइटर भी था और उनका असिस्टेंट भी था। वो फिल्म जो थी वो शूट बाद में करते थे, वो फिल्म कागज़ के ऊपर पहले तैयार कर लिया करते थे। उनका एक बहुत मोटा सा एक रजिस्टर होता था, एक लाल रंग का, जैसे पुराने बनियों के पास हुआ करता था, जिसे वो खाता कहा करते थे। और उस खाते के ऊपर उनके हर शॉट का एक स्केच तैयार होता था। उस स्केच को देखकर आप ये अंदाज़ा कर सकते थे कि आर्टिस्टों की पोजीशन क्या है, कैमरे की पोजीशन क्या है, और उसके बराबर उस शॉट के डायलॉग भी लिखे हुए होते थे।
In the 1980s, following Ghore Baire 1984, Ray had to stop making films for close to 5 years due to poor health. Of his last films, perhaps the only one that saw him return to form somewhat was in fact his last film, Agontuk. Finally, in 1992, Ray received the Honorary Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in recognition of his rare mastery of the art of motion pictures and for his profound humanitarian outlook, which has had an indelible influence on filmmakers and audiences throughout the world. However, by now he was gravely ill. He passed away on April 23, 1992. India had lost one of its finest filmmakers.
अगर कोई मुझसे ये कहे कि सत्यजीत रे को 2 लाइनों में बयान कीजिए, तो मैं गालिब का एक शेर पढ़ दूंगा। बलाए जा है गालिब उसकी हर बात, इबारत क्या, इशारत क्या, अदा क्या।
Satyajit Ray, as an auteur-filmmaker, introduced a new style of filmmaking in India, wherein he controlled every aspect of his filmmaking. Inspired by neorealistic cinema of Europe, Ray believed in working with non-professional actors and shooting on location. Ray was a director with the Midas touch, who could extract an extraordinary performance from a non-professional actor. He was mostly his own casting director, and most of the actors of his films were chosen by happenstance.
If we speak of actors who made their debut in Satyajit Ray movie, the list is of creme de la creme. In other words, the absolute best of cinema world. Satyajit Ray had the rare penchant for picking up unpolished diamonds and turning them into their best. That is the mark of the greatest teacher. Soumitra Chattopadhyay made his debut in Ray's movie that made history. He first appeared in Opur Sonshar, the culmination of Opur trilogy with Pothar Pachali and Aparajito. If Soumitra won hands as Opur, then Sharmila won the spectator's heart as Aparna. Interestingly, both these great actors made their debut in Satyajit Ray movie, and that too the same.
তোমার আপত্তি নেই তো?
জানি না।
ওরা কি ভাববে?
কারা?
আমার প্রতিবেশীরা।
वो कभी आर्टिस्टों को जब डायरेक्ट किया करते थे तो वो कभी चिल्ला के या बहुत लाउडली इस तरीके से उन्हें बताया करते थे कि उन्हें क्या चाहिए। एक मर्तबा ऐसा था कि एक फिल्म में एक सीन था जिसमें अमजद खान मरहूम ताशा बजाते हुए, मुहर्रम का वक्त है, वो ताशा बजाते हुए नंगे पाँव लखनऊ की सड़कों पर गुजर रहे हैं, और मानिकदा जो थे वो क्रेन के ऊपर थे, तकरीबन कोई 30-40 फीट ऊपर थे। तो सडनली उन्होंने कहा रिहर्सल देखने के बाद कि क्रेन नीचे करो। तो क्रेन नीचे आया, वो उतरे और अमजद के कान में जाके उन्होंने कुछ कहा, और उसके बाद वापस जाके वो फिर क्रेन पे बैठ गए और शूटिंग हुई और शूटिंग कामयाब हो गई। तो जब वो सीन ख़त्म हुआ तो मैंने अमजद भाई से पूछा, मैंने कहा अमजद क्या कहा मानिकदा ने तुमसे? कहने लगे सिर्फ इतनी सी बात कही कि जब 10 फुट आगे आओ तो ज़रा सा ऊपर देख लेना। ये था सत्यजीत रे।
Jaya Bhaduri, the bubbly and much-loved actress, started her career at the age of 15 in Mahanagar. After her debut in Satyajit Ray film, she started taking up acting seriously. She enrolled at the Film and Television Institute of India and excelled there. If Aparna Sen had not made her debut in Satyajit Ray movie, we would have missed a lot of good things in life. One of the greatest actors of Indian cinema, undoubtedly, Aparna Sen won our hearts in her first appearance in Teen Kanya's Samapti. Soumitra Chatterjee never ventured into Hindi cinema, unlike Sharmila Tagore, who was in her early teens when she acted in Upur Sonshar, unlike Madhavi Mukherjee, who arrived on the screen in Mrinal Sen's Baishe Shravan in 1960 and went on to act in 3 of Ray's films, Mahanagar, Charulata and Kalpurush.
তুমি মমতা দত্তর লেখা পড়েছো?
না
পড়েছো?
পড়েছি।
কলকণ্ঠ?
গলগণ্ড।
Along with these actors, many new faces seen in Ray's films, Satyajit Ray, of course, is a legend, having garnered the highest awards in the international film world, and because of him, many actors and actresses have also won international film acclaim.
Slipping into a very short break, keep watching our show.
और इस गीत के बाद
बहुत रोमांटिकली
Ahead of the trade negotiations that are slated
दिवस के साथ
it has undergone 9 revisions.
Coley, with 903 rating points, is 34 points behind Smith 900.
This is All India Radio. The news read by Anuja Kumar.
नमस्कार।
Satyajit Ray and his camera. He used color very carefully. He preferred the colors to be closest to what he had used at the shoot. He chose the costumes and the decor very carefully and did not like the laboratory to do any color corrections. His camera moves as per the needs of the situation rather than out of any fixed notions of style.
কি হচ্ছে বাপরে বাপ রুমা একটু এগিয়ে
The man who was the cinematographer for 21 of Ray's films, including 15 features, other than working with Tapun Sinha, Tarun Majumdar and M.S. Satyu, Soumendra Roy, National Award winner, pointing out that though Ray connection started with Pather Panchali, where he worked as a trolley and reflector assistant to Subrata Mitra, his first independent work with the master was a Tagore documentary in 1960, which the central government had commissioned Ray to do to mark Tagore's birth centenary the year after. Ray also wanted to make a film on Tagore's short stories, which Mitra was to shoot later that year. During the shooting of Teen Kanya, Mitra developed an eye problem and Ray turned to his assistant to take over. That was the start of their long association. Shomindu Roy worked as cinematographer in Satyajit Ray's films, including Ashani Shanket, Teen Kanya and Shatranj Ke Khiladi.
जंग में अपनी फौजें आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, लेकिन जंग कौन सी असली है? यहाँ न खून की नदियां बहेंगी, न सरधड़ की बाजी लगेगी, और न ही किसी सल्तनत का पांसा पलटा जाएगा.
While Shomindu worked as Satyajit Ray's cinematographer between 1960 and 1991, Nimai Ghosh is the person who can be credited with the candid shots of Ray and his shootings. Both Shomindu Roy and Nimai Ghosh are names to reckon with their respective fields. In those days, Eastman color still had not come and Ray insisted on using color only when absolutely needed. When Ray did Ashani Shanket, again with Shomindu Da on camera, he shot it in color. The decision raised eyebrows as people had expected a story of famine to be told in black and white. But Ray felt that he could establish the aridity of famine more starkly in color, leaving nothing to imagination. All credit goes to a luminary in the field of Indian cinema, Satyajit Ray.
Slipping into a very short break, keep watching our show. India found its moment at the 92nd Oscars after the Academy celebrated Satyajit Ray's 1955 classic Pather Panchali. Ray's film, the first part of his critically acclaimed The Apu trilogy, is hailed as one of the most iconic films made in India. But the list of awards is endless.
Ray received many awards, including 32 National Film Awards by the Government of India and awards at international film festivals. In 1993, UC Santa Cruz established Satya Ray Film and Study Collection, and in 1995, the Government of India set up Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute for studies related to films. At the 11th Moscow International Film Festival in 1979, he was awarded with Honorable Prize for the contribution to cinema. At the Berlin International Film Festival, he was one of only 4 filmmakers to win the Silver Bear for the Best Director more than once, and also holds the record for the most number of Golden Bear nominations with 7 nominations in all. At the Venice Film Festival, where he had previously won a Golden Lion for Aparajito in 1956, he was awarded the Golden Lion Honorary Award in 1982. That same year, he received an honorary Homage a Satyajit Ray Award at 1982 Cannes Film Festival. Ray is the second film personality after Chaplin to have been awarded an honorary doctorate by Oxford University. He was awarded Dada Saheb Phalke Award in 1985 and the Legion of Honor by the President of France in 1987. The Government of India awarded him Padma Bhushan in 1965 and the highest civilian honour Bharat Ratna shortly before his death. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences awarded Ray an honorary Oscar in 1992 for lifetime achievement. He became the first Indian to receive an honorary Academy Award. It was one of his favourite actresses, Audrey Hepburn, who represented the Academy on that day in Calcutta. Ray, unable to attend the ceremony due to his illness, gave his acceptance speech to the Academy via a live video feed from the hospital bed.
Well, it's been an extraordinary experience for me to be here tonight to receive this magnificent award, certainly the best achievement of my movie-making career.
In 1992, he was posthumously awarded Akira Kurosawa Award for Lifetime Achievement in Directing at San Francisco International Film Festival. It was accepted on his behalf by actress Sharmila Tagore. The Academy Film Archive has preserved a number of Satyajit Ray's films. The Academy Film Archive additionally holds prints of other Ray films as part of his Satyajit Ray collection. Ray, also a graphic designer, designed most of his film posters, combining folk art and calligraphy to create themes ranging from mysterious, surreal to comical. A workaholic, Ray valued work more than anything else in the world. He worked 12 hours a day, usually getting to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. He loved collecting archival, antique materials, manuscripts, rare gramophone records, paintings and rare books. He was a superb illustrator, mastered every style of visual art and could mimic any painter, as evidenced in his book and magazine covers, posters, literary illustrations and advertisement campaigns.
Satyajit Ray is one of the world's finest directors, producers, screenwriters, composers, writers and graphic designers. Satyajit Ray's cinematic heritage has belonged to both India as well as the world. He left behind a legacy of some amazing filmmaking skills that have no match. His cinema is a rare blend of emotions and intellect, where he perfectly balances sorrow and happiness along with deep observance. Thanks for watching.